Half-Life VR.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. It's finally here.
We are VR.
Hello and welcome to the Inbetween podcast. I'm your host Joe. I'm joined here by Tony Tonzadati. He is over there.
Yeah,
I set up the mirrored webcam so I can point to him.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about Half-Life VR and nothing else.
Pretty much.
I was talking to friend Andy from the podcast, and he said I just want to talk about a frame by frame breakdown of Alyx, and he said you should just make a separate video about that.
How many frames is in this trailer?
I'll count. Well, I think it's 60 FPS.
Yeah.
So it's
60 times
60 times
3,600 plus.
You do the maths because I can't.
It's probably about 7,000 frames.
Because we can go frame by frame. Look. Hang on. That's a beautiful frame. That is a beautiful frame.
Look at that.
Now look here.
Smooth animation.
Now you can just start to see the Steam VR logo here. Alright, let's watch this. Okay.
We both wish we had VR right now.
I'm going to play this with Daniel.
Yeah.
Because
does it work
my brother... Yeah, it works on all...
Yes.
They designed it all to work on all VR systems. And my brother has the original Vive, which is probably the best way to play it that isn't the Index. So...
Yeah.
But Half-Life Alyx is finally here. I've been watching so many... Okay, if you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Valve News Network, Tyler McVicker.
Yeah, he's like good content
He's been talking about for the past year that a Half-Life VR game is coming.
Oh, look, this is what we both like, right? This is the
Citadel being built.
Yeah.
That is my wallpaper.
Yeah. Is it actually your wallpaper?
Yeah, it's my wallpaper.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that a... I didn't see that before. Was that a water puzzle mechanic?
A Valve puzzle.
Yeah.
They got, what's his name? I think it's Rhys Darby. So, like, the old guy, he is, he's the New Zealand comedian from Flight of the Conchords and What We Do in the Shadows. He's fucking hilarious. I love him. So I'm so happy that they got him, and it seems like this might be a more comedic game than Half-Life was, based on him being included in it, and the jokes they show off. Hang on, frame by frame analysis. We got to go back. We got to look at the TF2 Scout trophy.
Yeah, I don't know how you saw this.
I didn't. Somebody else pointed it out. I missed. I watched the show like 10 times. And I missed it every time until I saw someone on Twitter point it out.
We see it here, but the bear.
But yeah, if you look down here, they got the TF2 Scout trophy, which I think is a nice little nod. I thought this gun was really cool, where it's like one shot, one kill. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a shotgun or something, but I think that's really interesting for VR compared to like the 9mm pistol they showed off. Someone also pointed out that every single Half-Life game is you trying to save Eli. It's like...
Is it?
Yeah, it's like... I don't know about Half-Life 1, I'm not sure about, but Half-Life 2, you're like, try to get to Eli. Half-Life 2 Episode 1, you need to get to Eli. Half-Life 2 Episode 2, get to Eli. Half-Life Alyx, get to Eli, he needs help. But,
I do love the high quality and fidelity stuff that you actually...
if you don't know, there's a new voice actor. Okay, I do want to pause on one thing. There's no. Not what? No, go
back, enhance. Go back.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything I saw in this trailer, I'm like, okay, this is grounded City 17 Eastern European architecture. We know from like Valve and Half-Life. This looks really cool. But this, I'm like, this is like trippy stuff.
Yeah, it's unsettling.
Because we know, if you haven't seen the end of the trailer yet, I don't know if I want to spoil it. If you haven't seen this trailer yet and you're watching me pause it every couple of seconds, just go and watch the trailer instead. The G-Man shows up, of course. Yeah. And we know the Vortigons are going to show up as well.
Wait, who? The
Vortigons.
Who?
Who?
You
don't know the Vortigons?
I don't know the names of anything.
Okay, Vortigons are the guys who shoot green lightning.
Oh, okay.
They were your enemies in the original Half-Life, and they become your allies throughout the entirety of Half-Life.
Oh, okay.
But they're very, like, mystic, Um, they talk in riddles a lot. They come from the Zen. They talk a lot of prophecies. They also like heal Alyx and say she's very important to the story.
I mean, that is true.
It is shown through episode. I'm trying to remember which one Alyx gets hurt in. I think it's episode 1. It's shown that the Vortigons can keep the G-Man from coming near you. So it's like the Vortigons and G-Man are kind of like this mystical essence in this universe. So this to me, I'm looking at this and I'm like, what's going on with the Vortigons and Alyx? Because we know Alyx is really important to the story of Half-Life. Like, she is a key part.
Yeah.
Like, the Vortigons desperately trying to keep her alive.
This isn't in the Zen, isn't it?
And the G-Man chooses to speak to Eli through Alyx. Well, we have head crabs, so we know some Zen creatures are going to be through it. We've seen the Dingly Boppers, what are they called?
Sorry?
I can't remember what...
Dingly Boppers?
I always forget what they're called.
So you call them Dingly Boppers?
They're the things that suck you up. Half-Life enemies. It's like a list of enemies. And I'll tell you the exact name. Half-Life 2 enemies. Barnacles.
Okay.
I'll get a picture if you don't know what I'm talking about. These things that suck you up.
They're not in the first game.
The first Half-Life?
Yeah.
I think they are, yeah. It's been such a long time since I played it, or it's been I played the original Black Mesa mod, I think it was 2011, 2012 or something. That's been going on for a while, so...
Clearly we need to watch Freeman's Mind again.
Yeah.
I
haven't watched Freeman's Mind. It's actually been such a long time since Accursed Farms actually finished Freeman's Mind and started making the Half-Life 2 one.
And I was like, oh yeah, when he's done it, I'll watch them all. No, I haven't done it yet.
I've watched all of Freeman's Mind, the first one, not Half-Life 2.
I haven't.
It's so weird when everyone was like, he should go back and do it in Black Mesa Source, and I was like, why? It would be the same thing. It's just Half-Life again.
Why didn't someone else just replicate every single thing in that and then just dub it over?
Hey, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. Well,
frame by frame, next frame.
Next frame. So we've got head crabs. We've got
this.
This thing here. I'm like,
Portal.
What the hell is this? No, it's like some sort of electricity creature. We got this is another Zen creature. This is the...
Oh, okay. So this is already known.
The bug bait things. What are they called? I'm trying to remember their name now.
I've noticed there's a lot of things coming at you from a top, above you.
Yeah, antlions.
Oh, these are antlions, are they? Okay.
Yeah, so the entire section of Half-Life 2 called Sand Trap. They're like these they're like bugs, and if you touch the sand, then they'll come out of the sand and attack you. Right. It's like a big, long jumping puzzle. And I remember I was playing Synergy with Dave, which is the Half-Life 2 mod, lets you play co-op, and you're supposed to jump from platform to platform to dodge the sand so these antlions don't come out and get you. And Dave just ran across because he could not do the jumping puzzle. This end shot looks pretty cool as well. That's like a Combine ship.
Oh, okay.
So they call it a 7-hour war because the Combine took over the Earth in 7 hours. And then over the years they made... This shot was... I was talking about this to my brother. It's
pretty well done.
It's 15 years ago. We were talking about how well the G-Man was rendered in the original Half-Life 2 trailer, and it was man, that was so cool. And now, 15 years later, me and brother are man, the G-Man looks so fucking cool in this new trailer.
This new G-Man, he looks great.
This G-Man guy. He is. He doesn't say anything, but I wanted him to just be I wanted him to just come out and go, prepare for unseen consequences or something like that.
So the game starts with seeing him in VR. They're pretty creepy.
Well, you think it's going to start like Half-Life 2?
Maybe not exactly the same, but at some point you'll see him at some point in the game at least. But I reckon near the start.
There's some theories that I kind of like because Black Mesa exists in the same universe as Aperture Science.
Yeah.
We know they're rival companies. There's a fan theory that every time you see the G-Man, he just disappears out of nowhere.
He's got a portal gun.
Yeah, there's a theory that he has a portal gun, which I actually quite like. I think that's a really funny theory.
I like that.
The reason he just keeps appearing and disappearing everywhere is because he has like a Paul.
G-Man Easter egg in there, apparently.
Did you ever play Paul Flash?
No.
I love that game. Yeah, it was good.
It looks good from this shot.
Maybe we have to do a spotlight on it one day.
Yeah.
It's one of those old Flash games that's really good that not many people remember.
Actually, I think early this year I watched someone play it for some reason.
Right.
Might have been the first time I even heard of it, but
yeah. Alright, start talking about this announcement. So, there's the picture of the figure. Half-Life Alyx is free with an Index purchase.
Right, well...
You'll also get it if you buy just the Index controllers, which I believe are about £270.
So we combine our money.
But you will get a free copy of the game, and I believe the game is about
was this
£40. I'll have a look for you now.
Was this just a thing before Christmas, or was this permanent?
I think if you buy a Index, you will keep it. You will get a...
No, but if I say like wait until like January to get it, I assume then that the free bundling of it won't be there anymore.
You will still get it free. Okay. The thing that the free bundle is before 2019 is the in-game content that I'll talk about.
Oh, okay, right. I think that's what I got confused with.
The store page is up. One thing I thought was really funny is someone's already put the masterpiece tag. And I'm like
and everyone's agreed.
Slow down on the popular user tag masterpiece. The game hasn't even come out yet. It's like when people review. You remember when you used to be able to put Steam reviews on games that hadn't come out yet? And people are like, I'm so excited for it, 10 out of 10. And it's like, this review is so fucking useless. People are going to look at this after the game's come out and go, what a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, someone already owns this game. Somebody pre-ordered it.
Index owners actually got the app ID in their Steam inventory before the announcement, but they couldn't access it yet. So anyone who already owns an Index has this in their library, and it will unlock on March 2020.
Well, how has Tyrion already got it?
Tyrion? Martin.
Yeah.
Martin just purchased an Index.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was talking to him yesterday. He was playing Beat Saber.
Do you like it?
Yeah, he said it's really cool.
Okay.
Because I said to him, you got a VR headset? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, you got an Index? And he's like, yeah. And I said, yo, you're going to get a copy of Half-Life Alyx? And he was like, what? I was like, you've seen the trailer, right? He's like, no. And I'm like, you're getting a free copy of this game.
That's pretty cool. So he owns it because of that? By accident?
Yeah, he just wanted to buy an Index and try out some VR. Because there's tons of like amazing VR games out there anyway. So, but I told him to play... I told him to mod Beat Saber and play Brain Power because it's one of the hardest ones. But I remember I played because he was like, "I'm sweating so much," and I was like, "I played Brain Power on Beat Saber on the hottest day of summer."
Beat Saber is the game that I think is converting a lot of.
It's the killer app.
Yeah, but it's converting a lot of non-gamers to it.
This is the next killer app.
This is for gamers. Beat Saber
I think gamers like rhythm games.
No, but I'm saying Beat Saber's like Wii Sports. Both gamers and non-gamers like Wii Sports. Yeah, I was actually...
Because when I was thinking about this game, specifically Half-Life Alyx, I was thinking about other apps or other games that have forced people to
get a console,
to adopt new technology. Yeah. And the first one that I thought of was Wii Sports.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have been saying, why can't you just mod Half-Life Alyx so you can play it without VR? And I would say to those people... Why don't you just mod Wii Sports so you can play it without a Wiimote? Yeah. And then you'd be thinking, well, that's fucking dumb. The game is designed around the Wiimote.
Yeah, imagine boxing by just tapping A.
Imagine playing Wii Sports without the motion controls.
Yeah.
So those same people, I'd say, imagine playing Half-Life Alyx without VR.
Yeah, it's designed. From the trailer, it's clearly designed around VR. They've added mechanics and gameplay around VR. It's critical to the experience.
But it's people complain I don't want to get a VR headset just to play a new Half-Life game. Back in 2004, people built new PCs to play the new Half-Life 2 game because no one had seen technology like that before. My dad literally built a PC just to play Half-Life 2.
That's with the new graphics codex, I think it was, wasn't it? It was actually one of the first implementations of some sort of codex.
It was a heavily physics-based engine, the Source engine, very high fidelity graphics. If I show you Half-Life 2 2000, if I can find a screenshot of it from 2004, because I know.
Well, can you compare it to the first game? because I think that'd be side by side comparison.
I'll show you another game that came out in 2004.
I think at the same time did it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Of course, it's an RTS, so but like.
Yeah, but normally that makes it better.
This is the kind of game I was playing in 2004, and then this comes out, and then you're like, holy shit, that's a big up.
Yeah.
That's probably not a fair comparison, but those are like two of the biggest games I was playing in 2004. Like games of because there's probably a
Morrowind came out in 2004.
Like an FPS game is probably like a good.
Yeah, it's true. Morrowind has got a pretty good look for the time, but when did the first Far Cry come out?
Tribes Vengeance. That's
Tribes.
But this looks like a
old game.
Yeah, this looks like maybe like an old Nintendo 64 game, even compared to this.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, people adopted new systems just to play the new Half-Life game, and you can get go to Valve News Network's channel on YouTube, because he literally made a video before the announcement saying this is how you get play VR on a budget. I'll even get up for you. Virtual reality on a budget.
Confused about any.
He'll show you like the options. Windows Mixed Reality is like a really good one. The original Vive refurbished is really good. There's tons of great ways to play this. Like, you don't need the Index or the Index controllers. So one thing I will say is, if I just skip along, they said some optional Half-Life Alyx interactions are only possible with the Index controllers, but the ones they described was just like you can crush a can in your hand because of how the Knuckles controllers work. Like it's the optional, non-mechanical story stuff. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? So you can play them with Vive controllers. You can play them with Oculus Touch controllers.
Can crushing is critical to my experience.
You can play them with Windows Mixed Reality Touch controllers. Right?
Yeah.
You can play them with. They've only announced this for Windows. There's no Linux support, which some people were kind of confused about because Valve is such a huge supporter of Linux.
So just the VR stuff, probably,
but
though, because they have really bad graphics drivers.
Could you play this on PSVR? Do we see a future PlayStation release maybe for this? We don't know.
We don't know.
It's a bit early to talk about it, but that's what I was just thinking. Like, because I was going through all the touch controllers you could use.
But if they're trying to get them to buy and get PC VR, would they want to release it on a VR or a console with VR? Or does it not matter because it just means that
I'm
more
talking
money
about later on, like
after porting over?
They had, they released the Half-Life games, the Portal games, the TF2, and then they made the orange box and released it on console.
And on PC, sort of.
Do you remember the orange box?
Yeah, I got some of the stuff.
But the game is designed to be played on every single way. So you can play it on any VR system. You can play it on room scale, standing, sitting,
finger tracking,
movement. You can play with teleport, shift, continuous, controller style,
cool.
finger tracking, or trigger based. You can move with an analog stick. You can play it however you want to play it. It's designed to be used with every VR system.
Room scale, continuous, fingers.
That's the way you want to play it.
That's me.
I'm probably more of a.
Number 9s.
I don't know much about shift,
and I don't know
much about continuous, but the way I play VR games,
I hate teleporting.
That's been good is room scale teleport.
Yeah, I hate teleporting though. I find that really. I like the ones where you look and then you just you press a button and you just move the way you're looking.
Budget.
Yeah, I didn't much like the teleporting. I like the actual teleporting mechanic, but when I'm moving normally, I didn't want to teleport.
Because it's more like you get to have a look before you teleport.
Yeah.
It's like tactical teleportation.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be my main mode of movement.
But you have a look through, and then you're like, do I want to take this teleport? And then
but imagine doing that for all of Half-Life.
Yeah, but BTTV. But the thing with me is, if I'm gonna be playing a Half-Life game in VR, I'm gonna want to minimize motion sickness the most I can.
Yeah, and I find teleporting doesn't minimize that for me. I want continuous movement.
Because moving with a controller in VR and I'm not physically moving makes me feel really motion.
Okay, that's fine. But the ones I've seen it as, you look in the direction and you then just press a button, you walk forward in that direction, and if you turn, like the world basically turns around you.
I've never used shift to continue, so I can't talk about them until I've tried.
I've never seen someone use shift.
I'm just saying, based on my personal experiences, I've only used teleport, and teleport's been really good from what I've used. But I agree. I don't like the mechanic of teleporting when you're getting shot by an enemy. You can just teleport across the map. Like gameplay wise, it's kind of not great. So if you get it before the end of 2019, you will get extra environments for Half-Life Alyx in your Steam VR. If you don't know Steam VR, you can have a little home. You can look at different little environments. I think they have a bunch of Valve properties, but you actually get to explore the environments of Half-Life Alyx early. You'll get alternate weapon skins for your guns. That's this like vanity guns. I don't know. I don't really care about weapon skins in a single player game. Like, it doesn't really mean too much to me, but if that interests you, sure. And then there's going to be special Half-Life Alyx themed content for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I'm really interested to see what this is because I have no idea. But
I don't think I care either way, to be honest.
I might be able to move up some news because there is a new okay, this is speculation, but
news. Do we have that one?
I don't even have the sound.
Okay.
But there's a new CS:GO operation called Shattered Web.
Right.
And for the first time, you're getting to you can bring in your own skins.
Oh, okay.
From the game. It's one of the things. It's one of the first female operators. Whatever they're called. Like an FBI agent. I can find her. Special Agent Ava, FBI. So they're adding a battle pass to CS:GO. Of course, there's crates with new skins because it's CS:GO. Graffiti, but there'll be like a battle pass where you can unlock skins for your characters, and then they have rarities and you can trade them.
Yeah.
They're also adding a new Danger Zone map, but it's going to be a community-created Danger Zone maps. They're bringing community-created maps into CS:GO. This new Danger Zone jungle map looks really cool.
That's interesting. Is it a different one?
This is a community studio. Because the Flying Scouts were missions on a new lunar outpost in Lunacy, the Danger Zone Zap Jungle, and I think these are maybe for regular matchmaking. I'm not too sure. This is a Scouts Knives. If you don't know, Scouts Knives is a really old custom CS game mode. I used to play it all the time in Counter-Strike Source. Basically, you have low gravity, and all you can do is shoot people with scouts or stab them with knives. So you're jumping up and trying to get shots with snipers. So it makes sense to have it on a moon base. It's like thematically, it's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was asking around about the CS:GO update because I don't really play CS:GO too much. It's like one of the Valve games I'm not incredibly heavily invested in.
What was the rumor speculation?
It's not a rumor.
Okay.
But my speculation was if they were adding Alyx-themed content for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I would guess it would be a gun skin. But that's a given. I think there would be a gun skin and graffiti, probably, and a sticker. But my speculation is maybe you could have a Alyx agent in Counter-Strike. I don't know if that would go too far out of the universe of Counter-Strike to have Alyx in the game. But that would be pretty cool to see from me.
Just be something that looks like Alyx.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the thing. This is the biggest question mark for me of what it actually will be. I don't think any of these pre-order bonuses are worth it. No. So if you want to buy an index and get Half-Life Alyx,
well, if you want an index for something else and you happen to get,
I would recommend just waiting for the game to come out and seeing if it's any good.
Yeah, but this is just buying the index. This isn't buying the game.
No, but this is if you buy an index before 2019.
Yeah, but if you're gonna get
Half-Life Alyx comes out.
Yeah, if you're gonna get an index anyway, though. But I wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't try and get all your savings.
Basically, this is them trying to get people to purchase indices for Christmas. Yeah. There's a huge influx. Black Friday soon, Christmas, New Year, tons of stuff. Apparently I found out about Singles Day, which is like a huge day for Chinese market. Because it's the 11th of November, so it's 1111, and 1 is single.
Oh, okay, right.
And apparently it makes like 30 billion a year on sales they have like tons of sales on Singles Day. Like, it's a pretty dumb holiday. It's like Valentine's Day or something where you just sell cards.
Oh, okay. How much
It makes a lot of money. So
how much money does Valentine's Day make?
I don't know. Let me have a look for you. How much money does Valentine's Day make? Sales.
Oh my god.
Sales.
This is
billion GDP. So sales of Valentine's Day gifts 650 billion in 2018
for the UK.
In the UK, yeah.
Jesus.
So it makes a lot of money. But that's like I don't know how accurate. That's something random I grabbed off YouTube. Anyway, so we talked about Linux. One of the really big things about this is you're getting Source 2 tools for building new levels, and you're getting access to all the environments and the Valve level authoring tools have been updated into Hammer for you to use. So
Source 2 actually usable,
and then you'll be able to put this on the workshop. Sorry?
So Source 2 kind of usable at this
point? For VR, yeah.
For VR, yeah.
I think there's heavy speculation that they're going to move CSGO to the Source 2 branch, but we don't know anything about that yet. But it's just like data mining and leaks and stuff.
It's been so long since things will be on Source 2 soon. DM.
Well, we know for sure Half-Life Alyx will be on Source 2.
Yes.
But basically, the cool thing about this is you can build cool Alyx mods in VR and upload them to the workshop, and this is going to add tons of replayability to Half-Life Alyx. And as we know from the past, Half-Life 2 mods have created some of the most creative things in video gaming. Like,
I'm wondering
there's so many people who've made stuff, and
I'm wondering what you can do in VR.
This is really cool. If people, this could be the next, starting point for something like Gary's mod of VR,
a new genre
where people will just keep making different game modes and games from this.
So do you think a new genre will come from this? Because I think it's almost guaranteed at this point.
If we're
not
counting,
soon,
if we're counting it in VR as a new genre, maybe, yeah. Because I look at Beat Saber and I go, a rhythm game in VR, it's kind of interesting, but it's not really a new game.
But I reckon we're gonna get something that can only be done, a genre that can only be done in VR.
Yeah,
I reckon.
The developer of Hot Dog, Horseshoe, and Hand Grenades was saying on Twitter, do you ever wonder why all VR games are shooters or zombie games where you're just like a stationary shooting zombies? It's because AI and NPCs are really hard to develop in VR.
So that's why I'm impressed with. Was it Blade and Sorcery? VR game?
The one where you just go around stabbing people.
In like an arena, yeah. Yeah. That looks really good. You actually walk around.
Right.
And they actually come at you and try and fight you.
But apparently, NPC AI in VR is harder than making the VR game itself. So
okay, is that just because the movements and tracking where you are, or?
No, but hopefully we'll see some good stuff from Half-Life Alyx.
If there's good tools for AI in this, then I feel like that will help a lot as well.
Also, Jeff Keighley is also making a final hours for Half-Life Alyx, arriving in March 2020. That's when the game's going to announce. If you don't know, Jeff Keighley did the original shipping hours back in 21 years ago. Back when he was in college, he interviewed people like Gabe and people around Valve for the shipping in the original Half-Life, and now he's going to do it again for Half-Life Alyx. That's going to be really cool to watch. There was also the final hours of Half-Life Alyx before the announcement, where they talk about it for about 20 minutes. That's really cool. I'd recommend watching that. Anyway, I've been talking about Half-Life for half an hour. Shall we talk about something else?
Yeah, David Cage. Let's talk about...
I love David. Talking about ambitious games like Half-Life, let's talk about another ambitious game, this time by a French person, David Cage. Detroit Becoming Humans coming to PC on the Epic Games Store December 12th. Quantic Dream, baby.
We got anything to talk?
No.
Do we care?
No. People do. People like David Cage games. This was a big release on the PS4.
Why do people like David Cage games? I like the idea of it, but it's always handled so poorly.
The thing with Telltale games is, when you're playing a Telltale game, you're playing a Telltale game, and it's not trying to disguise itself as anything else. But I feel like David Cage games are really devious in the way that they try and disguise themselves as something bigger and something else. But honestly, they're really just choose A or B or C.
Yeah. There's a lot of walking simulator and then just like looking at
because people who see like Detroit Become Human, you could look at that and you'd be like, oh, that's like a big open world game and it's like lots of opportunities. It's like, no, it's kind of just like a narrow, go down this path or this path,
like, which is fine, but it's not.
But
there's not choices don't matter. They pretend to matter.
I like Joseph Fares's full cock vision. His vision of a way out is the vision I wanted and enjoyed.
Yeah,
I don't know. Because you can make good games out of that genre. Like, Joseph Fares is like a very good... Like, I loved Way Out. I thought it was fantastic.
You just need to have, like... Your choices actually matter. Like, it changes something. Not necessarily just the ending, but, like, the way you play it. And then you can have... Like, being linear isn't negative. It's just, like, a game genre.
There's, like, a bee simulator came out. You can be a bee. It looks okay. Why
are we talking about this?
It came...
These are trailers that...
Trailers that came out at the same time as Half-Life, around the same time as Half-Life Alyx. So
we had David Cage.
You can pop balloons and make girls cry in the park.
Oh yeah, why is so good graphics for bees?
Goat Simulator is an amazing game. This could be the next Goat Simulator.
Did we need ultra realistic graphics for
this? It's 2019, Tony. We need it.
Yeah, but it's really bitty and making me unsettled. Sorry.
Bee Simulator.
Not for me.
This looks amazing.
I can't believe
Somebody says I thought this was the remake of the Bee Movie. I think this gained more traction because of the Bee Movie memes.
Yeah.
Another big news is the Sonic trailer has been redone and Sonic looks way less terrifying. He actually looks like Sonic now. He still
sounds weird though.
Yeah. I don't really like his voice.
No.
I'll be honest.
I didn't realize it the first time the trailer came out, but it's like the main.
I'm not going to show the trailer because I think I'm going to get DMCA'd.
Yeah, it's not worth it. But the guy, the main character is like in Westworld.
Is he?
Yeah.
The human guy.
Yeah, the human.
I've only seen the first episode.
The police guy, the guy like that sees Sonic like he's going 700 miles per hour. That guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But I didn't realise that.
I wanted to give a comparison because you look at this and you go, "Oh, Sonic looks fine."
Yeah, oh my god!
You have to compare it to what Sonic. Think this terrifying monstrosity is what Sonic used to look like in the trailer. Like he was terrifying.
Okay.
Why the fuck did they ever think this was a good idea? Okay.
Go back to the new one. He's still slightly terrifying. His mouth still moves unsettling. Unsettling. I should just stop using the word unsettled.
Right.
But I don't like it. It's too.
I like this design.
I like it, but I don't like the way his mouth moves.
Okay.
It's still slightly creepy. But yeah, he looks far better now.
Far better than this. What the fuck was this? What the fuck was a Sonic?
You know what's even worse about this? Do you remember do you remember the teasers with just like the shadow of him and people went, "Oh, why is he looking so buff?"
Yeah.
Those images look better than this.
Some people are now saying that it's going to go from being a movie that's so terrible it's good to now just like a forgettable movie.
No, it was always going to be forgettable, I think.
Sonic the movie could be a great movie. Jim Carrey as Eggman. He's got
Robotnik. I want to watch him as Robotnik. I
want him to ham up really hard, like harder than he's shown in the trailer, and just go fucking insane.
Yeah. I'm a bit concerned that some of the humor for him is just like him being obnoxiously funny instead of like crazy and like campy.
Like that John Travolta film, the Fanatic, where he plays like a mentally disabled person, and he's like, he put like for your consideration adverts where they send screeners to like Academy Awards trying to get an Oscar. He was trying to get an Oscar for that film. I hope Jim Carrey sends out like for your consideration. I want my performance as Dr. Robotnik in the Sonic movie to be considered for an Oscar. I think it's that level.
I reckon, but I think he could get it if he was really hammed up and really go into it. The acting.
Are we going to do some sort of like bet or something where you're going to say, I reckon Jim Carrey's going to win an Oscar for the Sonic movie?
Yes.
I'll even give you. I don't think the Sonic movie will be nominated for an animated Oscar.
No, it won't be nominated for anything.
So, anyway, Guild Wars 2. You want to talk about this? I know very little about Guild Wars 2, so I was asking you about it. The Icebound saga is out. This is the next series of the Living Story.
To me, the biggest importance is they've changed the launcher to be blue.
Okay, that's good news.
Okay, so we were in the desert before, and
Snow.
And the last season was basically all around like the south of the desert and like.
I'm gonna get another glass of water. Do you want one?
Yeah, go on then.
You talk about Guild Wars 2.
And I'll talk about Guild Wars 2 and the little.
If you want.
yeah, I'll just switch to Space Engineers. But yeah, as far as I know, I have not actually completed the last season. This is season 4, I think. Whatever this was called, Whispers in the Dark. But we've gone to the north where it's frozen. Okay, I guess I should clarify. Okay, in season whatever we just had, we killed a crystal dragon that died right at the end. In the season before it, which was the main campaign for Path of Fire, we killed a god. Now we've gone from killing a god, killing a dragon. Now we've gone to the north.
It's a returning zone from Guild Wars 1, isn't it?
Yes, we've gone. It's like north of Frostgorge.
Right.
I don't know if that means anything to you. It's basically a mountain. It's near the mountain. It's in the north where the mountains are, where the ice dragon makes it very cold.
Right.
And yeah, it was.
Have they killed the big chicken yet?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Well, Big Chicken is actually just the lieutenant of the even bigger chicken.
Oh, okay.
So they killed the big.
It's out now. I was talking to you about it.
So the prologue came out a month and a half ago. I did not play it. I've not completed the last season.
Oh, so parched.
But Michael has, and it's like the subplot that gets this all started is the fact that the Char may be becoming evil again.
I actually thought the Char story was one of the more interesting stories for me in Guild Wars 2. Like the idea
of a personal story.
Yeah, but the idea of the Char zone where
yeah. Well,
they had to form this alliance between the guilds, right? And the humans and the Char had this long history of fighting each other and killing each other. And you had the ghosts of the humans in the dungeons.
I would argue the Char alone aren't interesting. It's when the Char interact with anyone else in the world that become interesting. Humans and Char trying to form a pact together and having the people and they have the really angry Char and the really angry humans that do not want this pact to be together. Right. That's really interesting. I don't care about. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're not really set up. The Char have been together. The 3 guilds have been together for this entire game, and now suddenly it's actually, technically, the Blood Legion leader doesn't, because Ridlock is part of the Blood Legion.
Oh, do you know anything about the new Raven masteries? Do you know any of the specific classes Raven attunements?
It's not what you think it is.
It's not a whole new class.
No.
Right.
So they've added new masteries.
Yeah.
So before there were the first masteries they added. I think they added 2 at the same time. But anyway, the first were central tier masteries. There's not that many of them. There are many for legendary crafting and movement speed in cities, basically. Right. Then they added the Heart of Maguma masteries, which was for the first expansion, which added the gliding and then weird stuff in the maps themselves.
Yeah.
Then in Path of Fire,
didn't they have the Revenant mastery?
That's not mastery, that's the class.
Oh,
they had the Revenant mastery and the... What are you called?
I thought masteries were a different version of the class.
No.
Okay, maybe I'm...
That's elite specializations. That gives you basically a completely different class, but it's a sub of your class. So they added Revenant and then whatever the Dragon... I can't remember what it's called now.
Right.
The Revenant, then Dragon Revenant, basically. They added the elite specialization, then they added one for every other class.
Mm-hmm.
Then in Path of Fire, they added masteries for the mounts. Those you get through mastery points. And then you get all their skills through.
Wait, do I have Heart of Thorns free now?
I think so.
It just said at the end, buy Heart of Fire and get...
Yeah.
And get Heart of Thorns.
I don't know if you have to buy it now or if anyone who's ever bought Path of Fire gets it.
I bought Path of Fire just because
Path
of Thorns wasn't that interesting.
Yeah, they should give it to everyone right now, as far as I'm concerned, who has Path of Fire.
Because the base game's free to play now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I bought the original base game. I remember I was...
Yeah, you can't buy...
playing the beta of Guild Wars 2.
You can't buy the base game, but you now can buy... You can now buy the... If you bought the base game before, you have the deluxe edition. Right. Now you can't buy the base game because it's free, but you can still buy the deluxe edition, which just gives you I don't know, boost to get you started. But I don't know much about the story. I don't really care.
There's new story content for Guild Wars 2. We don't really know too much about how the development of the game is going to carry on.
It sounds like the masteries are linked to They're just kind of linked to the maps themselves, so that it's like slight combat advantages in the maps. Okay. They don't seem that interesting.
I gotta move on quickly because I got lots more news. And
yes.
I used a lot of time. Okay. Battle Royale is coming to Modern Warfare based on data mining. We know some specific maps that are coming. I kind of put this in because on one of the previous podcasts, one of the topics I wanted to talk about was that Titanfall 2 was making a Battle Royale game. And I almost reported on it, and then I was like, I can talk about this next podcast. And then Apex Legends comes out, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I should have reported on this. This was like a credible leak and everything. Yeah. State of Decay 2 is coming to Steam. I've talked about this in a previous podcast. It's a pretty interesting game. I enjoyed playing it. It was on Xbox Game Pass. So it's coming early 2020. I'd check this one out. Resident Evil 3 Remake is in development.
I assume they're all
according to sources.
At this point.
But this is according to credible sources, so that's pretty cool to see. Hopefully it is like the Resident Evil 2 where they changed the gameplay and people really enjoyed it.
And 1.
They didn't change the gameplay for 1.
No, but they didn't need to really.
Okay. Arcane veterans are launching a Wolfeye, a small studio making big games. They are another thing. They are revealing a new game at the Game Awards. Arcane are.
Who's Arcane?
Prey.
Oh, they're Arcane.
Dishonored.
Okay.
So one of the main Arcane studios. When Arcane Studios, Raphael Colantia, is it him? That he and fellow Arcane veteran Julian Robbie have announced Wolfeye Studios.
Just 2 years later,
so they moved on from Arcane and now starting their own studio.
So they were not doing anything for 2 years, having a rest.
The Game Awards 2019. I'm just trying to. I don't actually know when the date of this is. It's 13th of December.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th of December. So good luck, Jeff Keighley. But there will be a new game announced from the studio at the Game Awards. There's going to be tons of announcements. So the next podcast will probably be. It's our 100th episode, so we're not entirely sure what's going to happen for that.
Anything could happen.
We have our 100th episode,
yeah,
Christmas episode,
yeah,
New Year's episode,
yeah, which is our year wrap up basically for the previous year, the New Year's one.
Plus maybe memes awards. I don't know. We might have to do
I don't think there's many of those. We can just have to do it quick this time.
And then our next podcast, it'll be the 4-year anniversary of the podcast. So we got lots of stuff coming up, and I have no idea what we're doing for any of it. But I've made you think about starting to make one of the Tony edits that we've wanted to do for like 4 years.
Yeah, ever since.
And I'm fairly sure I promised a main channel video on one of these podcasts, and I said I would make a video in 2019.
Yeah.
So I've got like 5 weeks to make a video. So I was thinking about the last video I did. I said I was going to make it Enter the Gungeon review. And I never did that. Or I might make a video about the Doctor Who New Year's special. That's something I've been wanting to talk about for a really long time.
Can you do a Slayer Spire video as well?
I'd love to talk about Slayer Spire. Anyway. I'm thinking about maybe even doing just like... I'm going to have gameplay playing and I'm just going to talk about a game. Because I find that so much easier than doing the cut down edited style. So...
Well, you can always, you not just like write a script and then just like, well, not a script, sorry. Like, have bullet points. Follow the bullet points, but you can then have like room to ramble if you want to. If you've ever
watched any of my old reviews, the audio levels are so out of whack.
Yeah.
Because I have to record like 50 takes just to read like a sentence. Because every time I start recording something, and I'm like, I have to get this perfect, I'm like, I get like massive anxiety, and I'm like, I keep fucking it up, and I keep having to record it over and over again. But when I'm doing a podcast, I'm like, I'm just going to talk for 2 hours straight, and if I get something wrong, I don't really mind.
Because I did this, I had a similar issue at university. It's like we had like we had to record ourselves doing a presentation.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that was harder than doing a presentation in front of people, because I did the same things. I had to do like 10 takes at least on like every single line. And then like clip it all together.
Put it all together, and you kind of like mishmashing different audio levels, and different positions.
And you're like, oh, that doesn't flow properly, so you like delete that entire thing and do it again.
I'm just gonna. I don't know how I'm gonna record it because my webcam isn't that great for like video. I might even try doing my phone. I was kind of.
You have phones?
I have a phone now that has a good camera on it.
Yeah, you got a good camera. How are you gonna?
I just have like a camera like on a selfie stick, and then just gonna duct tape the Yeti to myself as like a
lapel mic.
A lapel mic, and then I'm just gonna be like, clap, meme review. Let's sync up the audio. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, more news. Shenmue 3 is out now, but the review embargo was 3 days after the actual game came out. I don't know anything about Shenmue 3, and I don't know anyone that's played it, but that was kind of worrying for the game. And
I don't think you can do a review embargo like that, but sure.
You can, because Bethesda has the policy like that.
No, but I don't think they could do anything.
Right.
They could blacklist you. For sure.
But, no. What I'm saying is, the review embargo is for people who got early copies.
Yeah, so they can blacklist you from like ever getting review copies.
But no, they can stop your review coming out.
If you got the review copy for that explicit purpose, okay.
And it's a long game as well, so it's like people who are buying it on day one aren't going to be able to.
That's really shady.
Apparently, BioWare. There's sources inside BioWare by Jason Schreier of Kotaku saying, but apparently BioWare's planning a complete overhaul for Anthem.
Right.
I don't know what that's going to look like.
It's going to be called Anthem 2. Anthem Next.
We'll have to see. I'm probably still not going to play Anthem, but as I've said in the past, I am someone that is willing to give a game another chance.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I'm maybe different from you, where you like to play one game and then just play it over and over again, whereas I play tons and tons and tons of games, and I'll give a game that I've played and not enjoyed, or I've heard that's not very good, and I'll give it another chance. Like,
I'll give a
recent
game
example
chance.
Is like Sea of Thieves or something like that. Whereas you recently, or the past year or so, you gave No Man's Sky another chance despite like its launch and stuff like that. So,
well, I actually bought it because they gave another chance.
If I hear good things about an Anthem overhaul, I'll play it. It's going to be an Origin Access basic, so
depends what it is though, because I'm not actually a big fan of these looter shooters.
Red Dead Redemption 2 had a terrible launch. It was buggy and crashing. Rockstar has released a patch for the PC.
It was so bad that motherboard manufacturers were trying to fix problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty bad.
We talked about CSGO. Barber is You is getting a level editor in 2020, which is pretty cool. That's a cool little fun puzzle game. This is quite big news. Death Guard and Blood Harvest. We talked about this previously on the podcast. It's the other behavior digital game that it's the Dead by Daylight creators. It's the other game. It came out.
That wasn't the thing that they had before, was it? Like on the top right. Was that always what it was? I don't remember that weird.
What are you looking at?
The top right. The actual that thing, yeah.
I think that's always been there.
Okay, I don't remember.
But what was I going to say? It released as Death Garden, didn't do very well at all. Re-released as Death Garden Blood Harvest as like an early access sort of thing. Did okay for a while. They had like a Terminator DLC, but now they've put out a final patch for the game, and they are ending development for the game and making it free to play, which I think is fair. There wasn't the numbers there, because we were talking about how they did the Terminator set DLC because that shitty Terminator film just came out.
Wait, was this for that game? Was that for that film or was it for the previous film? There was like
the new
last year Genesis came out.
It was February 2019.
Yeah, but Dark Fate's only just come out though.
Terminator.
Dark Fate is the new one.
Dark Fate's when did
Genesis came out last year? Dark Fate came out this year.
When did Terminator Dark Fate come out?
I think it's in the theaters.
Really?
I think so. I could be wrong.
It came out recently. Terminator.
Genesis was the previous one. I think that came out either last year.
Anyway, but I think this was to amp up the advertising and trailers for Dark Fate. Because I think Dark Fate was announced for like a long time before it came out.
Oh, okay. So it was hyping up for Dark Fate.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, it's not Terminator then.
I don't know. Anyway,
Skynet doesn't exist.
The Dead by Daylight game and crew is really cool. It's a shame that this game didn't do as well. It's very similar to Dead by Daylight, but I don't think as good. It has some interesting stuff that I enjoy playing. If you want to check it out, and you've got a couple of friends together, it is free to play now, so that's something cool.
What was the people who bought it though?
Like me.
You bought it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you get anything special for buying it?
No, what would I need?
I don't know. Free.
It's always
Another Terminator.
It's always weird when a game goes free to play and people are like, "But I bought the game." It's like,
you
got to play the game because you purchased it. The same thing happened with TF2 when it went free. I don't care. More people can play the game. That's cool.
I'm not upset that Guild Wars 2 became free to play.
Yeah.
I don't know why people
a game going free to play on a multiplayer game means you can play with more people. You should be happy when a game goes free to play. Well, even if a single player did it, I'd still be happy. I just bought it early. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to wait. Like, if someone told you in 5 years' time this game will be free, you would still buy it, I think.
Yeah, because you're like, well, in
I want to buy it now.
Years I might not play.
Yeah, exactly. I want to buy it now.
So Factorio has released their 1.0 date for the 25th of September 2020.
At last.
This is to force them, because they said basically they were going to keep developing, what they wanted the game.
Yeah.
They're never going to stop development on the game, but basically this is going to force them to be like, hey, this date is coming up. We have to focus on these specific developments for the 1.0 release. And they're saying the 1.0 release won't be the 100% finished game. The 1.0 release will be, we're going to work on everything we want to be out by then, that we're going to be able to focus on what's most important, and then we'll keep developing the other stuff.
Can I interpret this? I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I'm just saying that is how I want to see it myself. I'm going to see this as 1.0 will be 100% complete. Then any development after it be like plus extra.
Right, but they're saying
Minecraft.
What they're saying is 1.0 won't be the end of development.
No. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying from my point of view, this. When Minecraft 1.0 finally came out?
Yeah.
But now it's been like 5 years since. No.
Jeez.
Exactly. We're still getting more content. I'm considering this the 100%. Then we have more stuff on top of that.
There's a Dwarf Fortress update. I don't know anything about Dwarf Fortress. If you like Dwarf Fortress, maybe you'll enjoy this. Let's move on to Xbox. Age of Empires 4. There was an Xbox convention this week. I remember at the start of the week I was complaining. There was no news this week, but it happens the same it does every podcast, where at the beginning nothing happens, and then as the weeks go on, everything is released. Xbox released shit. Path of Exile released shit. A fucking Half-Life game came out for the first time in 15 years, and I'm looking at it like, wow, this looks really good, but I also remember Duke Nukem Forever, and that was terrible.
Yeah, but
I'm at the back of my mind, I'm like,
yeah, but Duke Nukem Forever didn't look good in the trailers, though.
But this is another game where I'm like, man, you remember that Age of Empires 4 poster from the back of PC gaming magazines, and you were like, man, they're going to make another Age of Empire game, and it's going to be amazing, and it never came out, and now it is. Hang on, because it was meant to be military age.
Oh my god, yes.
Empires 4
right.
magazine. I'll show you the original magazine.
It's been so long. I forgot about that.
Here you go.
Yes.
I remember I was reading
What's this?
PC Gamer. It's like, because Age of Empires 3, of course, was the frontier kind of era, because it was like ancient, medieval, and then it was like, colonist, and then Age of Empires 4 was meant to be like military.
Could they not?
War, and then it was going to be like Age of Empires 5. It's like XCOMs, futuristic.
I realised that this would be making like a huge scope, but surely you could have a game with all of them in.
This is the image.
Especially with Xbox.
That I'm referring to, because this was from, I don't know.
Ago. This was the old Microsoft
this
logo.
Must have been...
Look how old that Microsoft logo is.
This must have been from fucking 15 years ago. This advertisement.
Sometime after 2005.
Age of Empires 4, another game that I've been waiting to come out for like 15 years.
Why have you been waiting for it though?
I love Age of Empires.
Do you actually?
I hate... Yeah. Okay, I really dislike RTS games. Some of my favourite games of all time, Warcraft 3, Age of Empires 2.
Okay.
So, that's why... I would probably play
Do you buy the definitive edition of Age of Empires 2?
I'd think about it, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd play it now.
Okay.
But 12-year-old me, probably. I loved setting up Age of Empires 2 demos on my computers at school and playing LAN games with people. And just building giant defenses. I'm a super defensive player.
Yeah.
Like, all I would do on humans on Warcraft 3 is I would just build towers and I would just build massive defenses. That was something I enjoyed doing on it. Anyway. Because I hate having tons of units. Because I hate the thing I hate about RTS games is
Controlling all of them.
micromanagement, right?
So why do you like city building management games? Is it the management part you don't like?
Because I tried to build a water pipe in
SimCity, was it?
No.
City Skylines?
City Skylines, and I couldn't. And I was so frustrated. I was like, "Fuck this game! I'm not
You
playing
couldn't
anymore."
build a water pipe.
I had to set up like a sewage system or
I
something.
know.
And it had to go underneath something, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I'm like, "Well, fuck this game then."
I don't see the problem, but
Anyway, Age of Empires 4 looks really cool. It looks like a next generation RTS, and I didn't. It's weird to say this, but I didn't think we would see another
we had
next generation RTS game. I thought RTS games were pretty dead.
Yeah.
Like people, apart from hardcore fans, people aren't really playing RTS.
True,
games.
but there are enough hardcore fans where like they'll all buy a new RTS game, regardless of how bad it is. Because I think even I'd buy this game, and I'm not a huge Age of Empires
Well,
fan.
I'm looking at it. So it says some people are complaining like because it's the Xbox conference like made for Xbox, and then this is just for PC. It's not coming to the Xbox One.
But Xbox have been putting a huge amount of money into Age of Empires.
Imagine playing an Age of Empires game on an Xbox controller. That's got to be
awful.
Not great. It's like trying to play like Fortnite on a mobile. Like
the thing is,
I remember that was a terrible experience.
You have to remember that Xbox has put a huge amount of money into the development of definitive editions and Age of Empires 4. So that's why they're advertising it.
We've got confirmation, or at least a promise from Microsoft that Age of Empires 4 won't have microtransactions or in-app purchases.
Isn't it sad that that's news?
Yeah, it kind of is, but
okay. It's bad that it's news, but I'm still gonna say good. It should be the default thing. It should not be a problem.
So they're saying
I'm still gonna give you props for it.
There won't be microtransactions.
Would there be DLC?
But they want DLC expansions.
Yeah,
that's how they're gonna do it.
I'm fine with that.
So, which is what I expect. Like RTS games, you had expansions. And
that's still my favorite version. Like you buy the base game, you can buy expansions that are quite.
You make big. Basically an expansion was like a 0.5 game.
Yeah,
it was like another game based on that game.
Yeah, it made the base game completely different, almost, or at least, yeah.
We've also got a Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, which is out now. We had so I'm a little confused because I don't know heavily a lot about Age of Empires.
Yes.
But
whereas Michael watches
had Age of Empires 2 HD, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition.
I think it's in the new engine.
Okay.
So this has the new AI stuff, I think.
But is this just because I looked at Age of Empires 2 HD and it didn't look as good as this one?
No, that just showed HD. I think this is still HD.
Really? I think that's Definitive Edition.
Is it? I can't.
This is Definitive Edition. I'm fairly sure.
I can't remember which one was which. There's one that looked. What's the HD one look like then?
Not as good as that.
Oh, okay. So they've got actually prettied up the. Oh, okay. So they've actually got higher quality textures. That's fair enough.
I think Age of Empires 2 HD was slightly increasing the resolution.
Yeah.
But also
it was
bringing it to.
It's making it playable.
Making it playable on modern systems.
Yeah.
Where I think Definitive Edition is like beautifying it to like 4K textures and.
Yeah, it does look much better. Like the screenshots of the buildings look. I really like the style of the buildings and the style of the assets.
But they're also making a new expansion just for the Definitive Edition called the Last Khans, which is pretty cool. We're going to have some more Age of Empires 2 content. Which is cool.
Apparently they're adding... This one?
It's available now, Xbox Game Pass, Windows 10 and Steam.
I think they were adding in either the new Civ, but they were adding it like they had range advantage. Oh, not range, height advantage, which is kind of cool.
But yeah, that's out now, so check it out. If they're adding it to Xbox Game Pass, I have to check that out as well when I get that.
It's on Steam.
So
check it out.
Check it out. Well, you talking about tiptoes?
Huh?
You're doing the tiptoes voice, but check it out.
Oh yeah, I was. I didn't actually know where I was getting that from.
It's Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
on his knees with shoes on his knees.
I quote things that I don't know I'm quoting most of the time. I'm like, what is that from? No, yeah, you're right. I did do that. Halo.
Halo Reach Master Chief Collection PC on December 3rd.
I'm actually
Windows 10 and Steam.
So I've never played a Halo game properly.
Right.
I've never owned a Halo game for obvious reasons.
Right. Well, you could play the 1 and 2 on PC.
True.
So is that the are you saying obvious reasons I never owned an Xbox?
Yeah, I mean until.
Okay.
I thought it was just 1 you could play on PC, not.
No, I think.
I thought 2 was when they got pulled.
3 was the first Xbox game.
I swear
because that was the Xbox One. The Xbox 360 was the.
I swear
that was the big. No, Halo 2 on PC was possible. I can look it up because we have the power of the internet.
Yeah.
Halo 2 PC.
It's Microsoft Windows platform. Yeah.
I'm fairly sure it came out for Windows. Yeah, you can play Halo 2 on PC.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I've played Halo 1. I've played a lot of Halo 3.
But I think I only knew about Halo with Halo 3, which was not for PC. Then I didn't have PC at that point either.
I bought an Xbox 360 so I could play, I think it was Gears of War and Halo 3.
Okay. I bought a PS4 to play Ratchet and Clank and wasn't Molydeux game? Uncharted?
The PS4 wasn't out.
Oh, and Resistance.
The PS4 wasn't out because the Xbox 360 came out before the PS4. That's why I got it.
But I was still playing on the PS2 at that point, so I was still... I got an early PS3 as well to play on.
It was like when you bought the Xbox, it's like, hey, you can pick out a couple of games to go with the Xbox, was like the deal.
Yeah.
So I got Halo, Gears of War, what else did I get? I think I got Pro Evolution Soccer 2006 or something.
In 2006 though,
yeah,
my dad, because my dad worked at a place where like they made the chips for the Bluetooth for the all the PlayStation Bluetooth chips. We were able to get like for a month to be able to use like the PS3 early, which I think is either like not a development kit but like the one above the development kit, whatever that is. So I was able to get it slightly early, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. I'm not going to get an Xbox. This is really cool." So I played like Carbon,
of course, like
Resistance.
They rushed out the Xbox and had the red ring issues. My original Xbox red ringed, and I had to get it refurbished.
Well, technically, the original PS3s had the same problem. It just didn't turn up until 2 years later, where it overheated and your hard drive got corrupted.
Right.
Then you were screwed.
But we're going to see Halo Reach on PC. They're starting with this one because I think it's the prequel to the... It's like chronologically the first game. I don't know much about Reach. The only ones I've played is 1, 3, ODST, and like a little bit of the other games on other people's Xboxes, like 5 and stuff.
Are they making
never
any
really
changes
properly
to them,
played them?
Because Reach had some problems.
I think it's just strictly graphical upgrades.
Right.
Or maybe bug fix. It's probably graphical upgrades, bug fixes, and maybe engine optimizations.
Because they had some problems with like level design and like some of the combat mechanics.
Yeah, I've never played Reach. I heard people liked the multiplayer.
Yeah, but I'm all for the story, and like they messed up some of the campaign missions.
I really enjoyed Halo 3, especially because
people like 3.
Especially because it had an amazing story and campaign.
Yeah.
The online was really cool, but also it had Forge. And Forge, I don't know if Halo 2 had Forge because I never played it, but it was the first game where you could create custom maps and you had like zombie mode and stuff like that. And that was really fun to play with friends, create your own maps and stuff. I don't know if Reach has Forge, probably does, so there'll probably be some custom game modes to play in this as well. Move on. There's new Xbox games coming to Game Pass: Rage 2, Remnant from the Ashes, The Talius Principle, Planetfall, AoE 2DE.
Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition.
Yes, that's what it means. Right. Coming holiday 2019, The Witcher 3.
Darksiders 3.
Darksiders 3. Halo Reach, my friend Pedro, of course, because Halo Reach is coming out in December. Life is Strange 2. They also announced another Life is Strange 2 at this Xbox conference that's made by the same people who make Life is Strange 2. But it's on my extra news if we have time section, so we probably won't talk about it.
10 years time we might catch up.
This is the game I'm most looking forward to. 2020,
Yeah.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Ori
too.
The Blind Forest is probably one of my favourite games of all time. So, yeah, pretty excited for that. Here's the image of all the games when they're coming, if you want to look at all of them.
So they bring out Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 13 too. Wow.
Final Fantasy shit. Oh, Supraland. Oh, it's only on console. Fuck. Because some of them are coming to PC and some of them are coming to console. Like Age of Empires Definitive Edition is PC.
Skatebird. The hell, Skatebird?
Skatebird? What
Bottom row.
Oh, that was shown off at like the indie showcase at E3.
It's the red, yellow and red thing near the end.
Yeah, it was like it had like birds that were skating. We watched the trailer for it.
But do we know what it is yet?
It's a skateboarding game with birds.
Okay, count me in. It's for PC as well.
Minecraft Dungeons release trailer.
You're way more excited than I am.
I'm actually sleeper excited for Minecraft Dungeons. I said in the past.
Sleeper, I think you're beyond sleeper excited.
It's coming April 2020. We've got the release date. I'm gonna play it because it's gonna be on Xbox Game Pass. So
okay, well tell me if it's good. I'm not interested now.
Okay. Sea of Thieves, we're getting a new expansion, and the reason I bring this up is because we're getting another Tall Tale, and Tall Tales are the best part of Sea of Thieves. We're getting a brand new long story content, which is the best part of Sea of Thieves, so that's really cool to see. And we're going to have the Seabound Scroll.
That's really cool, though.
Have to check that out.
Pirate Ghost
they're adding the flame cannonballs, so you can set your opponent's ships on fire. That's
or your own, as you...
Yeah.
You see your own ship on fire?
You can throw them at people. It's another free update.
November, was it? Because this month it comes out.
Hang on. Oh. What did it say?
Jump
November 20th.
Okay.
So looks like
it's already out.
Yeah,
Play it now.
Have to check that out. When I get Xbox Game Pass again, I'll be playing Minecraft Dungeons and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and I'll play Sea of Thieves' new Tall Tale, so I'll talk about that at some point. Rare came out with a brand new original IP called Everwild. They made Banjo-Kazooie. They made
the shit one though.
What else did they? Yeah, Banjo-Tooie. No, what was it called? Nuts and Bolts.
What's the car one?
Nuts and Bolts.
That Nuts and Bolts is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. So what's this? New.
I don't know, but it looks artsy and it might be a platformer, so that's why I'm
interested. I like the grass.
That's
all I know.
What else did they make? Because they made Sea of Thieves, which I've played recently, which is really great. They made GoldenEye, Donkey Kong Country, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Because I never had a Nintendo 64, so I never really played any of these games. Oh, I loved Cameo. This game's great. This game is so underrated.
Spotlight?
I don't have the game anymore because I sold my Xbox. It's an Xbox 360 game. I remember, I don't know if I told about this before, but I remember I got this game for like my birthday. So my mum bought it from like, it was like pre-owned probably, and she just bought this game randomly for me. And I was so upset because I didn't want it. I was like, this game's going to be shit. And I played it and I was like, actually, this Cameo game is fucking amazing. I'm such an asshole. Like, I should have been grateful for this. This game's great. Yeah, check out Cameo. Like,
2005.
It's a really underrated Xbox game than the Xbox 360.
Other than Nuts and Bolts.
So I actually have played.
Is that the only bad game they've made?
I've played two rare games.
Hang on. Sorry. There's
Kinect Sports. You talking shit on the Kinect?
No, I'm talking shit about Rare. Like, what bad games have they made?
They made Viva Pinata.
Is that good?
That was good. The people love Viva Pinata.
Okay.
They made Battletoads.
Ghoulies.
Yeah. If it's as good as Cameo or Sea of Thieves, this one's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, we just saw some artsy people move through a wood, so I don't know. We don't know anything.
Grounded. We're getting an Obsidian. If you don't remember, Obsidian's now a Microsoft developer.
Yeah.
An Obsidian survival game, but with a twist. I love survival games. I play this. I've been playing 7 Days to Die. You're ant-sized. That's the twist of the survival game.
Small twist.
This actually looks really good.
I like the idea.
Yeah, a survival game where you are ant-sized.
I just can imagine the environments and things you can survive in.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I love like miniature style things where you are you're in a normal scenario, but you're so small you can see it from a different perspective. But this already reminds me of stuff like, survival games like Forest, 7 Days to Die, just all the
I'm just saying when I
games.
see the ants, it reminds me of Bug's Life. But what was the one where like there was a guy that got small? What was that one?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Was that it? Was that actually?
That's a film. What are you talking about?
It was.
Oh, you're talking about the film?
Yeah,
yeah. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's a weird one.
This game actually looks pretty interesting though.
Building.
It's coming to Xbox Game Pass.
Beatles.
So I will probably play it.
We can't get Michael to play. There's too many Beatles.
He doesn't like Beatles.
No. He
hates
Beatles.
1960s music.
Yeah.
He hates the Beatles.
Yeah, he hates the Beatles.
Wow.
No, he doesn't hate the Beatles. He just hates Beatles.
What about spiders?
He's okay with spiders. He doesn't. I don't know what it is about Beatles. He doesn't like fish, but like he really hates Beatles.
He likes fishing.
I think 'cause he kills the fish.
Okay.
I don't know.
But I think it's really cool because you have natural enemies when you're that small. Because then spiders, ants, and bugs become your natural enemies because of how big they are.
What's with the dislike bar?
I don't know. Maybe they want them to make like another Outer Worlds style game.
Honey, I Shrunk.
Now you can fight with bugs in Obsidian games, literally. Somebody else said Honey, I Shrunk the RPG.
Obsidians don't have bugs though.
I don't know why so many people have disliked this. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm happy to see more of this game. See how it goes.
We've got a new twin-stick shooter with tactical cover from UK-based studio named Upstream Arcade. It's featuring the voice acting of Ron Perlman, who is in the new Hellboy movie. That's where you might know him from.
I don't. Okay.
No, he's in the old.
Is he?
He's in the old Hellboy movies. It's
this guy. Yes.
He's in the good Hellboy movies, not the new ones with the guy from Stranger Things.
Is he from a biking thing as well?
Yes, Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy.
That's where I know him from mainly. I love Sons of Anarchy.
He's great.
I like the first season of Sons of Anarchy, and then
but this guy, he's great though. He's great in anything he's in.
So people know him from Sons of Anarchy and Hellboy, but we've got this brand new twin stick shooter. They said it's going to be a twin stick shooter, and you're going to have to use tactical cover to get through. And I like the art style.
That sounds nice.
Kind of undead cowboys.
I like Flaming Skull Man. Reminds me of David.
Looks really
David
cool.
Cage.
Looks really fun. Twin stick shooter. Coming from a UK studio, so we'll have to see how that goes.
What's Nicolas Cage thing he was in? The Flaming Skull Man?
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
But why are you talking about Ghost Rider?
Flaming Skull.
That's it, reminding of Ghost Rider.
Flaming Skull reminds me of Nicolas Cage.
Okay. We got, of course, we're going to talk about it. There's a new kart racing game that's coming to PC.
We all love kart racing games.
Kart Racer Drift. So apparently, this is going to be a kart racing game that's free to play, coming out in 2020. The original kart racer was made in 2004 by Nexon, the MapleStory people.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know much about this other than it's a kart racing game. That's why I put it on here, because I like kart racing games. So I have to check this out. Looks like you can have like standard racing modes, and then there's also going to be like power-up modes similar to like Mario Kart and stuff. So this will be interesting to check out. Last game I'll talk about, The Artful Escape. So I didn't know much about this game. It's coming out in 2020. Apparently, there was a failed Kickstarter for this about 3 years ago.
Really?
And now it's coming out. Seems like they continued development on the game after the Kickstarter. And it's going to be coming out for Xbox Game Pass for PC, Windows 10, and Steam. And it looks like
an artsy game.
Yeah, it looks like a platforming game, I think.
Okay.
And I'll kind of switch because it's not straightforward. It's very artistic.
I'm
psychedelic. Looks like looks like it might even be like an auto runner, like Bit Trip Runner or something like that.
Yeah, but I'm getting. Remember that game we spotlighted? I'm getting a little bit of vibe from that still. The one that we couldn't complete the demo for because they're playing flipping jazz as a boss.
Oh no, it doesn't look like that game.
No, some aspects of this kind of remind me of that though. I'm getting a little bit of flashbacks from that. What was that even called?
It was like a jazz detective game, right?
Yeah.
I'll have a look. Jazz game. Apparently, Jazz is a basketball team or something.
Utah Jazz. The Jazz game, 2019.
I don't remember what it was called. I'd have to look at our spotlight.
That'd probably be the easiest.
And I'll find it. We were also thinking about looking at doing like a 4-year anniversary, just looking back at all the different.
Oh, Genesis Noir.
Genesis Noir, that was what it was called.
I
don't think it's.
No, some
this
parts,
looks like it has actual gameplay.
Okay, fine, but some of it did remind me of that where you just aimlessly walk in, just looking at some great animations.
But Genesis Noir is like fucking confused.
Yes,
like, I would say this is probably closer to something like Jazz.
From what we just saw, though,
Genesis
half
Noir.
of it was just you walking and looking at some fancy animations.
Okay.
I'm a bit concerned.
I have to see more gameplay about it before I give an opinion on it, but I don't think it looks as ridiculous as Genesis Noir. Which I was so confused why the hell they were showing it off at E3, because I was like, none of these people have fucking played the demo for it, because if they would, they wouldn't be showing this shit off at E3. Like, it's fucking terrible. But Path of Exile 2. We'll move on to Path of Exile. Con happened in New Zealand, if you don't know. Path of Exile is made by a New Zealand company. They're very much well loved and respected for making a free-to-play, what people consider to be the Diablo 2 successor. Of course, we've also just recently had the Diablo 4 news from BlizzCon.
Didn't we figure out what this 2 meant?
Yes. So, if you're confused like I was because of Overwatch 2 and Path of Exile 2 not actually being sequels...
This is kind of similar, but also not similar.
Path of Exile 2 is a new campaign of 7 acts that replaces the need to play through the original 10 acts to get to the end game. It gives variety to how one can level their character. Do you want to play the original Path of 1 campaign, or do you want to get to end game, or do you want to play the Path of Exile 2 campaign to get to end game? Same mountain, different path. So I think Path of Exile 2 is a new engine, so there's going to be engine improvements. Okay. I think there might be some graphical improvements. Basically, if you think about it, the original Path of Exile is like leveling up from 1 to 60 in World of Warcraft through the original content. Path of Exile 2 is going to be like leveling up from 1 to 60, but instead of playing the original expansion, you play the Burning Crusader, you play Wrath.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But normally when they do that, it's an expansion. They then overhaul the entire game with a new engine. As
I said before, with Overwatch 2, Overwatch 2 is an expansion, but calling it a sequel, number 2, sells better.
Both an expansion.
I don't know if this is even going to cost money. I don't think it is. But
okay, my question is though, you get to the end game.
Okay.
What graphics is it going to be? Is it going to be in the new engine? Is all the end-game content with the new engine?
I don't know enough about Path of Exile.
So I'm still super confused. Or is it more like...
It's a new 7-act storyline.
Yeah, is it more like it's an update that changes the graphics and the engine and adds a story?
But the way I would compare it to people who played Diablo 3 is... In Diablo 3, when you first play through it, you level up to the story, but then you have seasons and stuff, and you have to constantly be leveling up new characters. But then you have the adventure mode where you just level up through randomly generated rifts instead.
But imagine it was Diablo 2.
Right, I never played Diablo 2.
It doesn't matter. Imagine it's exactly the same as Diablo 3, but it's Diablo 2.
Right.
Diablo 3 comes out, you can get to the same endgame with a new engine. But it's the same end game.
Yeah, I think that's
same mountain, different path. Fine.
I think they just.
But what the hell happens?
I think they just named it this to generate more hype about it. I think it's just an expansion.
So if I just play Path of Exile, I'd have to play Path of Exile 2, and it's a new engine, it's a new graphics.
I think there's certain classes you have to play through on Path of Exile 2, and then certain classes on Path of Exile 1, and then
once you've
got stories.
But once you got to the end game, it's the new engine.
Because I've tried to play Path of Exile like once or twice, and I've never been able to get past like the talent tree boss.
The talent tree boss.
Have you ever seen the talent tree in Path of Exile?
I've never wanted to play it, but like I think TB was like, oh, I really like it because he was playing it for a bit. Oh my god. Is this actually what?
I think it's bigger than this, actually.
What? What is this?
This is like you go into the game, it's like, here's the talent tree. Put points into this, and I'm like, my anxiety is like, what the fuck do I put points into? And I know that if you fuck up your character, you can like fuck up your character for the entire game.
That's the fun of it.
I don't know.
So it's not like a fog of war for new players. You don't get like massively like, what the hell am I looking at?
Oh, we got a gameplay preview here.
I don't see this.
What is Path of Exile 2? They have a beta ready in late 2020.
They both need the same Atlas endgame.
Yeah, which is what I was saying.
Right. So does that mean
Path of Exile 2 characters are a new set of exiles who fall in the same class archetypes as those of the original game. As such, you can pick from a set of 19 ascendancy classes that differ from the old ones and that are still available in the Path of Exile campaign. Path of Exile 2 introduced the next generation of Path of Exile's iconic skill system. Support gems are now socketed directly into skill gems, removing many of the frustrating present in the old system while maintaining all the previous depth.
Maybe we should play Path of Exile 2.
I still don't know if it's going to be a separate game. I think they're
sounds like just
it's a new engine, so they're probably going to just release it as Path of Exile 2. Because people were speculating for a long time at ExileCon they were going to release Path of Exile 4.0, but it seems like they've taken the 4.0 update and they've gone, this is good enough to have a separate expansion, let's call it Path of Exile 2.
But I assume they're still upgrading the engine because they lead to the same end game. It'd be a bit disjointed if you are playing a great new game, then suddenly you switch back to the old engine. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't.
That's the thing I'm mostly confused about.
Oh, also we had Path of Exile mobile announcement. So they would basically, the way they said they designed the mobile game was that it was designed to be a good game that happened to be on mobile, which I think is the best way to do it. It's not like, let's design a mobile game for the mobile
How do we get money from the players?
We can just extract money through microtransactions. Path of Exile 2, they said it's in early access. We want feedback on it. We want it to be fun. We're just trying to make a Path of Exile game that's fun that happens to be on mobile. So good.
I hope
they said like it's pretty hard to announce an ARPG mobile game after Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, but it can only be better though.
So mobile games are kind of bullshit, right? What a fucking way to start a video. Yeah.
Oh, that's how they started.
The guys at Path of Exile, the developers, are really cool.
Yeah, I trust them more than any other developer video, I think.
Okay. I have been playing a couple of games. I have to talk about Star Citizen quickly. I don't have any footage of it.
Yeah, because
I forgot I played it.
Star City?
Star Citizen. They had a free flight, basically, which I reported on. Basically, you could play it free to play for like a week with like starter ships. Actually...
How was it?
It was kind of fun. I didn't think it was that bad.
This is the first time where like all the mechanics, well, not all mechanics, a lot of the mechanics have come together properly as a ship space survival story.
I don't know how old this screen shows.
It looks like
the roadmap. No. But from what I played of it, the best way. I don't. I was showing Winnie the Home Derby running to Tony. Anyway, okay. Star Citizen gameplay. Here we go. Right. What was I going to say?
This is too distracting.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. The best way I could describe Star Citizen is it's kind of like Sea of Thieves in space.
Yeah,
it's the best way I describe it.
There's more.
It's a massive open world. With not a lot in it.
There's more RP mechanics.
It's tied together by like fetching quests. And go here and kill this. Similar to Sea of Thieves, and the fun interactions come from in between doing these things, you're going to interact with other players who are going to be friendly or hostile. That's the best way I could describe it. And for the little bit I played, I had fun playing it, but I could see like the world was pretty empty. You played it a lot. You're probably not going to get bored of it. You're going to want content like the tall tales that are in Sea of Thieves. That's the kind of content you're going to be looking towards with Star Citizen.
Did you play any of the missions?
Yeah, I played a couple of missions. Okay. Is there story missions?
Yes.
I didn't play any story missions.
No. Because at the moment I watched
90% of my time was figuring out how to fly the ship.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's very complicated.
Apparently they're adding... Because they've actually opened up a lot of their roadmap more publicly now.
Right.
At least as far as I can tell, because before no one was talking about a roadmap. Now the person I watch for Star Citizen News is like referring to a roadmap. And they've... I can't remember... They're now working on like the camera to make ship flying easier. I think that was the feedback they got. The ship camera made it really hard to fly, I think, or something. I don't know. But it's just so many buttons anyway, but... And they were adding new missions that were harder because people were saying that it's still too easy, even though they're not as easy as they used to be like 2 years ago. But I think it's on its way forward to actually having mechanics that combine together because like you can like be a miner in this. It's more of like an economy space survival game, sort of similar to Sea of Thieves to some extent, but. You've never seen Elite Dangerous gameplay stuff. No. So it has those sort of mechanics as well. Where you can discover stuff and like sell the information you have, or like you can mine stuff and sell.
I've seen like
resources.
VR videos on Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, but it's kind of a lot like that in the terms of you're basically a space trader, or you're a space fighter, or a space bounty hunter, and you decide what you play. But it's nice that the mechanics are finally coming together to actually make some sort of game. What, 10 years? It's not quite that long, but it's been a hell of a long time.
But I look at it and I go, actually, the base of the game is pretty fun, and I think I've unfairly judged. I was talking about how I am willing to go back and look at another game, and I think like Star Citizen actually kind of deserves to be looked at by a lot of people who've dismissed it based on its Kickstarter launch.
Yeah, but to be fair, the way that it was done, like it makes sense now. To some extent, because it doesn't really. Still, they made lots of different modules.
Right.
They've only in the last 2 years made a base game that is playable, and then they slowly add the other modules into the base game as new mechanics.
Because there was also like PvP game modes you could.
Yeah, these were always try. Yeah, those were always meant to be just like proof of concept modules that eventually those mechanics would be added to the base game, which didn't exist when the PvP thing happened. They were just hangers, PvP. Then they brought out like a space station with a couple of missions on. Then they brought out like scavenging things. Then they brought out the FPS component, which was really bad when it first came out. So I think the early criticism was fair enough because they were asking for ridiculous money. They had nothing to show for it other than really high fidelity ships.
Yeah.
And that was it. Really weak source PvP
I think,
and empty space.
I think probably the best part of Star Citizen is the ships.
Yeah.
That is like...
That's the whole point of it, though, to be honest.
Yeah, but that is like their strongest aspect is flying. Once you've learned to fly the ships, it's really fun. There's very good physics.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
There's mechanics behind like keeping upkeep of the ships and things as well if you want to get bigger ships.
Like it's like before you fly a ship, you kind of have to like read a Wikipedia page and like learn how everything works.
It'd
and even then, in practice, I'm like still mashing buttons trying to figure things out.
Wouldn't it be cool if it had like in the real world, like you have like driving lessons, you have like ship flying lessons. That'd be cool. You could like pay like an NPC to help you fly a ship.
I thought an autopilot mode would be good for people who just wanted to get more into doing the missions and interactions with players.
You could make it like still like you could have it like some ships have like an autopilot, like an automatic and like manual driving in the real world. That'd be kind of like a way to
the different ships were interesting. Like you could have bigger ships that could carry more, but then they were slower. You could have more agile ships. Yeah. It's similar to Sea of Thieves.
You can have military ships, you can have mining ships, you can have trading ships, you can have... There's another one as well.
Given how long Star Citizen's been in development, I would say Sea of Thieves is like Star Citizen in the ocean. I do think Sea of Thieves is a lot better game at the moment, though.
Yeah, it's actually got more...
Oh, Tigger throws invisible pitches. Fuck that guy.
Wait, what?
He throws invisible balls.
You have to predict it.
Yeah. This is Star Citizen, ladies and gentlemen. Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby. I was watching Clint Stevens speedrun it before, that's why I was showing it.
I found physical playing it in 2013.
But yeah, I played Star Citizen. I'd recommend checking it out again. It definitely needs more work, but
I own the game.
You've kickstarted the game.
Yes.
I don't think you've ever played it.
No, I've never played it loads or anything. I've just watched videos on it. I was like, and I always watch and go, I don't want to play this yet. But now, this year, every single thing that's come out, I'm like, oh, this looks really cool.
Well, they had like a big roadmap, I think.
Yeah, they've actually got the roadmap properly now.
Hmm.
It's actually nice to see what's actually happening, because obviously
okay.
they were so disjointed before they couldn't have a roadmap. Now they finally have a roadmap. It's actually...
I've got other games I'll talk about probably next week. Maybe I've been playing 7 Days to Die. I've got footage. I might be playing some other games. But we've got to end the podcast because we're hitting the hour and a half mark, and I've been talking way too long. So let's read the Molydeux tweet, and then we will end the show. Imagine a game where you can take a photo and then place the photo back into the scene where it becomes part of the environment. You take a photo of some oranges. If you place the photo face down in the sky, the oranges will fall from the sky. Now this kind of reminds me of that Superliminal.
Yeah, this is just DLC game. For Super... What's it called?
And apparently somebody already made a Unity demo of it based on Peter's description. So here it is in action.
I already... Oh my god. Yeah. So you take a picture.
Yeah. You print out the picture. And then you can place it in the environment.
No.
It looks pretty amazing.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
It looks pretty cool.
Now I just need to add physics to the things. That'd be I like it.
It looks really trippy.
DLC for Superliminal. Is it Superliminal it's called? It's a game I really want to play now. I've been watching people play it, and yeah, Superliminal. It looks so good. I love the trolley puzzles that they have.
But yeah, that was somebody actually made one of Peter Molydeux's weird game ideas into a demo, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, that is the end of the podcast. I'm your user host, Joe Scornbrace. I've been joined by 1010s IT. If you want to check out the YouTube VODs and you want to check out our Spotlight videos, we'll have one coming out next week. And everything in between podcast on YouTube. Sometimes typing in between podcast Peter is an easier way to find us because we're
sometimes everything in between is what you need to search for, depending on how YouTube searches.
Twitch.tv/Scorn if you want to watch live. At Scorn2000, I'll be posting everything about the podcast on Twitter, and I'll probably be posting about Half-Life Alyx, as I have been recently.
Half-Life 3 was that?
Yeah, Half-Life 3. That's the end of the podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.